Welcome into the Scene Project Sports Network. I am your host, Bubba Starts. We are here tonight for the SPSN Tailgate Show. Big news out of Minnesota today. Kyler Murray has been named the starting quarterback. We got a couple of great guests tonight that are going to join me and talk about it. And now we can move on with our lives. Before we get into it, let's get our co-hosts in here for the day. As always, Pods is with me, joining the show unannounced. Said he was going to be late. He's here on time. What's good, buddy?
Not much.
Just let yourself in the door, Pods. Don't worry. You can produce the show now. Let's get Cody in here. You're good. You're good. Coach, what's going on? Oh, we got no audio from you. Got no mic. All right, we'll get Coach back in here in a second. We'll get him in here. Pods, what's your quick reaction to Kyler Murray before we get our other two co-hosts in here?
Kind of expected, really, because I mean, you paid the guy to come in here to compete. He's got a history.
He has a vet minimum deal. So saying that you paid the guy, you gave him a ham sandwich.
Yeah, you gave him a ham sandwich, and you still think he's more capable than JJ McCarthy. That's why you brought him in.
Well, we're going to get into that and more. Let's get Dell in
so
here.
If it's a ham sandwich, what's that make JJ, in their opinion?
Dell, what's good, buddy? Good to have you on again, man.
What's up, y'all? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I wasn't going to let this slide and not try to get your takes on QB1 being named here in Minnesota. I think a lot of us expected it to happen. I thought the timing, while I'm okay with it, also couldn't have come at a worse time for KOC as Kyler's kind of strung together some of his worst practices of the OTAs and training camps. And he's been getting 70% of the number one team reps anyway. So to behave like this is a massive difference now, he's going to get like 9 extra reps with the first team, right? Is 30% extra reps going to make a 200% difference in what we want to see from our starting quarterback?
I mean, I would think that he would get all the reps with the ones now. You know, if
but that's what I'm saying. If they were splitting reps, JJ, he was getting 3-to-1 reps over JJ anyway. So he's really getting like 9 more reps with the ones, because they're still going to be second team reps. Is he going to get all of the ones and all of the twos to get him up to speed? We're going to talk more about it. I want to get Coach Cody in here, get his instant reaction, and then we're going to go more in depth with this too. Coach, how you doing?
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yep, we're good.
All right, let's get it. How we doing, fellas?
We're good, man. Coach, meet Dell. Dell, meet Coach.
What's going on, Dell? It's a pleasure. Thank you for being on the show with us.
Put me in the game, Coach. Put me in the game.
Hey, it's just a matter of time. You already know.
Hey, Frosty.
But yeah, no, I saw the news, heard the news. You guys posted it in the chat, and it's about time. It's about time we get our answer, a decision, and now it's time to get to work. I feel like Dell said he should be getting, Kyler should be getting 100% of the reps, first team. Get him acclimated, make sure he knows the playbook, the checkdowns, everything, audibles, calls at the line. Get him as prepared as you can.
Does 10 extra reps make that big of a difference in practice, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 5 extra reps makes a difference. That one extra rep is when you could click and you could figure it out and it could all make sense. So, I'd never put a cap on how important repetitions are.
Because we need to, I think where I'm at is that, especially with as atrocious as the night practice was from both quarterbacks. I'm not here to say that JJ should be the starting quarterback. I don't believe JJ did enough to overcome the bias that was inherently against him going up. Because I think you have to look at it this way. As soon as Kyler was signed, this wasn't a competition between two guys that were 50-50 for the job. You might as well have treated Kyler like the incumbent quarterback who had a bad year, with a young guy coming in who didn't start, right? So when we all look at it and we hear competition, we're thinking two guys vying for that starting job, going at it 50-50. And while reps overall may have been split in that way, they were almost always skewed towards Kyler Murray getting 70% or more of the first team reps, right? So the JJ was going to have to be perfect, absolutely perfect in OTAs, in training camp to overcome the bias that's obvious that KOC had from day one. I'm not saying whether it's warranted. I'm not saying whether it's right or not. I really don't care, right? I think that the most seasoned quarterback right now and our best chance to win in week one against Green Bay is probably trotting Kyler Murray out there, at least from what we've seen, right? And not necessarily in training camp. We're going off his resume. And that's a question that I kind of have. And if I was talking to Kyler Murray today, to ask him directly, Kyler, do you feel like you won this job in training camp, or you won this job because of your resume and your experience in the NFL over a guy who has 10 starts?
I mean, let's look at Kyler Murray's resume. I think Kyler Murray's signature win on his resume is his Offensive Rookie of the Year award, right? Which is more points to Cliff Kingsbury than anything, because Cliff Kingsbury coached Jaden McDaniels and he got Offensive Rookie of the Year as well. And then Cliff Kingsbury had coached Patrick Mahomes in college. So, I mean, you got to look at where the smoke is coming from, and normally it's fire. Coaching cannot be understated in the NFL. I mean, coaching is everything in the NFL. My main concern with moving forward, because the decision has been made, and it's painfully obvious that Kyler Murray did not win the job. And as a matter of fact, neither quarterback won the job, to tell you the truth, although Kyler Murray definitely did not outplay JJ McCarthy in the night practice. You had drops from Price, Jeshwan Jones, Felton, all thrown by JJ McCarthy at the night practice. Kyler Murray also threw an interception in his own red zone at practice, and then another ball got tipped and intercepted as well. I just see everything that everybody is saying via local media and on YouTube, that Kyler Murray is just in rhythm more, and he grasped the offense better than JJ McCarthy. I did not see that at all at training camp, and I don't understand how you could make the decision towards Kyler Murray as opposed to JJ McCarthy, who has had a year with the playbook in physical condition. Going back to looking at Kyler Murray's resume, last year he went 2-2 as a starter for the Cardinals. Won one game by 1 point and another game, I believe, by 3. Never passed for over 225 yards in any of those 4 games. Got hurt like the second to the last play in his 4th game, which Jacoby Brissett came in week 5, threw for 320 yards and never looked back. So, and then Kyler Murray requesting a release is damning as far as a leadership role on a football team or organization in general. You know, don't build something and then ask somebody to move in with you, and then you leave them there to live alone. You know, so there's that in what Kyler Murray has actually done on his resume, which is the last 2 times that he's passed for over 300 yards was week 15 and week 8 of 2024. So there was a half season that went by before he eclipsed 300 yards. I would just like to say, point out that Kyler Murray may not be an MVP type caliber player, and we might be investing in the demise of our future as an organization, especially that with given the circumstances and Kyler Murray handed the job, what message does that say to the locker room players? For me personally, it says it doesn't matter how hard you try. We already have our favorites picked out and who's going to see the field. So I hope that Kevin O'Connell hasn't lost the locker room, and I'm really looking forward to players stepping up, at such a early junction of the preseason. Players in the locker room stepping up and saying, giving Kyler Murray a resounding endorsement, which I haven't heard so far, and that's quite unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I would just like some Minnesota Vikings players to step on up to the mic and say that, yeah, Kyler's our guy and we believe in him and he's better than the other three options that we have at the quarterback room. Own it. Have your coaches back. Have one accord.
Del,
if us fans are supposed to have one accord, why can't the players have that?
Del, I got you on this.
Oh, shoot.
All right, two things, Del. First thing.
I got to back out and back in. I can't hear Bubba. Sorry.
No, I was muted. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So two things. Brandon here brings up a good point too. The Vikings QB play will depend 100% on the O-line and the run game. Sure. I don't think it's going to be 100% though. It's like 70%, maybe 60%. Because you need a competent signal caller too. People don't realize you got to have a competent signal caller even in the run game, because you got to make sure you're handing the ball off correctly, making sure you're hitting the right hole, setting your guy up on the right motion, everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of checks at the line in this offense, and KOC kind of alluded to that as well, is that everything is on the table essentially for the quarterback up until the time the ball is snapped. There's a lot of checks that can be made. How you expect a guy who comes in here with very little knowledge and experience with the playbook to be able to step into that, and especially someone who's not experienced going under center a lot. You're changing a lot of your playbook and tendencies for this player. It's leaving a lot of questions that I think, while I don't necessarily find the I don't find the decision to be unwarranted, because it was obvious that's where he was going no matter what, right? JJ would have had to have been so good, and I still don't know if he I don't know. JJ wasn't he didn't have to be better than Kyler. He had to be better than Peyton Manning in his prime to impress KOC to the level that he was going to start.
Well, here's my thing though too. We look at that, right? And thank the good Lord, McCarthy, what did he say? McCarthy, who hates the Vikings, isn't the QB.
And I still don't think that's true, even after today. I think McCarthy's a better teammate than people give him credit for.
I'm just going to say this, and I know it's going to upset a lot of Vikings fans. I don't know if I don't know if you've told Dell and a lot of the people in here, because we've only had a couple shows. I am not a Vikings fan. I like the Vikings, but I'm not a Vikings fan. I am a Kansas City Chiefs fan. And I watch this Vikings room with credit, with credibility, because the Kansas City Chiefs at one point had one of the worst quarterback situations in the NFL for years. It was purgatory. It was worse than the Browns. And I look at the Vikings quarterback room right now, and you say that, well, JJ McCarthy didn't perform better than Kyler Murray, or you say that he would have had to perform as good as Peyton Manning or God himself. I think a lot of Vikings fans don't want to admit this because it's the worst case scenario. I think you guys wasted a first-round pick on this guy, and I don't think he's that good.
But that's irrelevant. I mean, that was 3 years ago. Who cares? You have to. We're talking about this team right now, moving forward, and the decision to go.
They're both buns.
Yeah, well, and that's, I think, why the decision couldn't come at a worse time for KOC, because now it's kind of been exposed that neither one of these quarterbacks is performing.
Bro, you might as well just march Brosmer out there at this point. They're both both of them suck.
Throw Carson Wentz out there, and I think there's some Vikings fans that are calling for that. He did win a couple of games last year before his shoulder fell off.
Because, like, I'm sorry, but Kyler being a KOC guy, like, having a relationship with KOC, doesn't exactly inspire the most confidence. And then you've got JJ McCarthy, who has had 10 starts, yes. But he has shown nothing in those 10 starts. And then in this training camp, he's shown that he hasn't progressed that much either.
I mean, the last 5 games of his season, he went 53 of 83 for 703 yards, 5 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, and 2 rushing touchdowns. So that's 7 touchdowns to 2 interceptions in his last 5 games. That with
and a couple of rushing touchdowns too.
Right. With
and
like
that's
a
great.
65%.
But can he do that all season?
But you just said that he showed nothing. So I mean,
he showed nothing in proof. He showed nothing this camp.
But I mean, Dell, you've been there. You have literally been at practice. We are very limited on what we can see. Obviously, the videos that have leaked out, you're only going to get highlights. You're only going to get highlights from, from the Vikings themselves, right? When they're posting social media clips, they're not going to show you the things that have gone wrong. While JJ may not have been lights out, even KOC himself admits that there's been progression from the young quarterback, and he has addressed things that were issues for him before. So I think that
I guess that's true.
Falsehoods. There's a few well, and I'm not there either, Pods. I can
no,
only
Skull Mafia said
word.
it. Sam showed nothing in camp, which I'm assuming he meant Sam Darnold.
And
then
right.
he exploded
and
for 14 wins.
Of Skull, I hope you're right. So far, I can only judge by what I've seen from this man. I am not looking at his highlights from 5 years ago and thinking that we are getting that guy. I'm not the same man I was 5 years ago.
Yeah. Dell, if we get Kyler, though, right, but if we get Kyler from 5 years ago, say he pulls a Darnold and he shines, then what do you do?
I mean, really, we'd have to go back to his rookie year for any type of real success. So that's what, 7 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, here's to me what I think a successful season would be for a Vikings quarterback, whether it be JJ or Kyler. I think you need a Vikings quarterback that throws at least 25 touchdowns to like 8 interceptions, 3,500 yards, and less. I'd say have a QB rating of at least 87.
And I guess that is where, okay, like Skull, to you, does that stat line, is that shine? Like, what is because the Kyler is going to shine. What is that level? And I think that's where, what is that? Because this guy's never thrown 4,000 yards. He's not going to be Drew Brees or Peyton Manning. He's not going to be that. I don't know if he has the legs to still get out and to do what he has done in the past. I don't know if he's that same guy. So what are we looking at? And I love this. So what we have to go with something he never had a career or a defense helping out. Okay, sure, but still, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. What have you done? He's been in camp with these guys now, and you still haven't seen anything. So I just I don't understand the rampant.
Well, maybe
I don't understand I feel like it's an unwarranted positivity and excitement.
Again, to what Skull said, though, Sam didn't show anything in camp, but he also is coming from a poverty franchise, and maybe when he gets into a real game.
I don't watch his highlights. I didn't watch his lowlights over there. I don't care. I've been watching this man since he joined this Vikings team. because that's what I am basing everything that we're going on. And as we were told, that's what the coaching staff was basing their assessment on, because when you tell me it's a competition, I'm assuming it's a competition from the day the two men walk into the locker room at the same time. And to this point, Kyler Murray has not even outshined JJ McCarthy, who everyone is saying is ass. So what are you telling your fan base right now? And I guess that's kind of my thing. I'm also saying that I believed that Kyler Murray was always going to be named the starter, not because he was the better quarterback, but because the coach had an inherent bias towards the veteran, which right or wrong, right? Doesn't matter to me. But to call it a competition, it was never a competition man on man. It was JJ McCarthy against the resume and the experience of Kyler Murray. And that to me is a little false when you come and say a competition. Coach, your thoughts on that. Is that a true competition in your eyes when you're putting the guy with 10 starts up against the guy with 90 starts and his resume and what he's done, and not up against the player that you're seeing in camp against the player that you're seeing in camp?
I personally think it's unfair to call it a competition. I mean, KOC, that quarterback whisperer, quarterback guru, whatever you want to coin him, it's only been with veteran quarterbacks, right? Yeah, we've seen it year in and year out since he's been with us. And I think this is him saying, like, hey, I got a veteran quarterback. He's shown potential, might still have it. We'll see. But I think this is him kind of throwing that dart out there, hoping it works. For better words, throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks,
Right. And Del, I feel like we vibe very well because we are both very kind of, what have you done for me lately? And I am all full on excuses. Everyone in this fan base making excuses for JJ, making excuses for Kyler, making excuses for KOC. Show the up and do your job and perform to the level that you are expected to perform. And now Kyler Murray has to get out there and do that. And you are now the starter. No more complaining out there to the media about you're not getting enough reps. What happens now? And that's why the headline, for the show is that. Where do we go from here? And I guess, Coach, that's why I kind of posed the question to you. Is that, 10 extra reps with the first team that JJ's been stealing from Kyler Murray in practice, is that going to make a 200% difference in the level of play that we need to see from our starting quarterback to be contenders? We're not talking about going out and winning some games. This team is telling us we are legit contenders. People are talking NFC Championship and Super Bowl because we got Kyler Murray. I don't see it. Somebody, am I blind? Am I not seeing what other people are seeing? Del, you've been at practice. Coach, you've been in this game for a long time. I guess that's kind of why I'm deferring to you two, is are you seeing something that I am just not? And it's too I fucking love it, man.
QB4. Oh man. Del,
why not
I'll let you
waive him?
finish. Or I'll let you start.
Why not waive him? Why not waive JJ McCarthy? Do him a solid. It's obvious that you didn't give him a chance. And then go out and back Kyler Murray and specifically say Kyler Murray gives us our best shot to win out of any quarterbacks we have. And have players do that too. Please go out and say that. What do they say? There's 3 frogs on a log and one decides to jump in. How many frogs do you have on the log? Well, you can say, well, there's still 3 because it's only a decision, or there's 2 because one made a decision. Well, that's just the thing about it. Do your decisions mean something? So go out there, get behind the guy, and the players too. Get behind the guy. I mean, you already started.
Besides KOC, it just doesn't feel like there's any faith behind him.
Why stop?
I want to push back a little bit. Tui, I know, is trolling, and the McCarthy bit. I know it's a bit now, and we can't give it up. But we have seen things in training camp out of this offense that we have never seen KOC do in his 5th year as the Vikings head coach. Pistol,
Desperate.
shotgun,
Desperate.
Thank
all
you.
these different things.
Yes.
So to say that McCarthy knows the playbook, they are literally changing the scheme and the playbook to fit a new quarterback that they brought in, that in their mind in March they named the starting quarterback, but put up the front of a competition.
Del, I have a question
the
for
same
you.
thing about Kyler.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Okay, Del, say Kyler. Well, here's how I look at it. Now that I don't think it was ever really a question whether Kyler was going to be the starter or not. I think that the lip service for saying, "Oh, there's a competition," is just so that the media outlets and the local outlets will be like, "Oh, here's the QB competition." Because if you don't say there's going to be a competition, then there's no reason for them to cover that room. Secondly, he's picked KOC. You know, like Kyler picked KOC. He decided to come to the Vikings because he was guaranteed a spot. Now the clock's ticking on KOC. That's my opinion.
Kyler's agent was in town this weekend. Do you think any pressure from that and any backdoor dealings as they're maybe trying to get a long-term contract done? And I just throw it.
They shouldn't be talking about long-term
Bubba,
contract till this guy does one drive at least.
So Bubba, check this out. Okay, you got your team together. Your team just saw what just happened, right? Which we're all on the same board about. He did not win the starting job. Okay, now you have to cut $50 million from your roster. And keep in mind, these people who know that that's coming, their heads are on the chopping block for no good fucking reason besides the head coach's ego. Now you have to get behind that. Bro, do you understand what this does to morale? Oh my God, dude. It's bad, bro. It's bad. It's a bad
once again,
move.
I don't care about your resume. That was 6 years ago for the Super Bowl, and coach said, like, that's in the past.
And what have you done lately?
I mean, who would you cut right now to save $50 million to extend Murray?
Yeah,
right
and I
now?
don't know the cap and
I'd
all
waive
that
him.
stuff right now. Well, look at how much younger you got on your defense. It actually makes it plausible and possible when you look at what you did to your defense, but you're talking about maybe cutting your left tackle, and you just gave a huge extension to your right tackle as well. I don't know where the money comes off the books at, right? You heavily adjusted the TJ Hawkinson contract and made him take a massive pay cut.
I think you
Are cutting Justin Jefferson or trading him to get rid of his massive cap hit to
well,
be
that would be $30 million.
Quarterback?
You still have to go $20 million now that you cut Justin Jefferson to pay Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
now,
not cutting. You're not cutting Jefferson, but
you're getting a QB in the draft.
Where does the money come from? Right.
There is no money.
That's been my thing.
Bottom line, the players see this coming. This is what the players look at. The players look at the cap. $50 million has to come off the books in order for this decision to work. They all know that.
That means George
Kyler's not even worth.
It's bad.
Wait, what? Did I miss something? Why are we at 50 million?
Well, we're just playing conspiracy theory
Because
here.
That's
so
what Kyler Murray is gonna. That's what Kyler Murray
he's going to ask for it, right? And even if it's not 50, it might be 40. And then this is why I've always contended that JJ McCarthy is your starter next year, regardless of what happens this year. Because if you do good, Kyler's going to want a bag, and you don't have it to give to him, right? And if you do, it would be at a seriously inhibiting the rest of your team in doing so. And I think so. We're just kind of playing devil's advocate here. We are not we're not, but the agent is in town, right? Kyler's agent is in town. I'm sure there was some there were some conversations when he got here that said, hey, don't worry, you're going to be the starter. And whoever his agent is sitting there going, you guys don't make me go to the media and and put this out there, right? Don't make me
Go to the
and do
media.
things
Let
that
him
I
look
don't
like a
wanna do.
clown.
I
Go to the
wish
media.
he
Let him
would.
look like a
He's
clown.
playing for free this year, right?
I wish he
No,
would.
no,
If
Honestly,
he's
he's
free
not.
next year.
when people
He's
threaten
not.
that, I'm like, I wish you would. Go ahead and do it.
I think
Because
Kyler
you're a
Murray's
guy on a vet minimum deal. Go
he's
ahead.
not
Go to the
actually
media. See how that turns
He's
out.
not
on a
playing
vet
for
minimum.
1.4 this year. He's paying for 1.4 plus whatever the 30 plus that he's getting from
Right.
Arizona. He ain't playing for pennies, guys. Like,
Right.
let's
And
be
he's playing
real.
for
The
potential
Vikings are
next
getting
year.
off-
And that's like a and that's like a 4-year contract. 4 years ago he signed that. So you got to add what? 7% per year, which is what the cap goes up. Bro, he's going to ask for at least $50 million a year, bro. At least.
Trash. Hold on while I
It's
throw up real
fucking
quick.
bad, bro.
And I think that's where I've always
Bad.
contended that like I don't now, and I'll throw this out. I got the clip up now. Like, what does this mean for JJ McCarthy's future on this team? Obviously, everyone's starting to talk about trade him before he's going to get traded, before he's going to ask for a trade. He wants out. The relationship is broken. There's all this talk. JJ has never once come out and said anything close to that. I don't believe that you have to trade him. I think that's kind of crazy because I still believe he gives you a better option at QB2 than Carson Wentz, especially if it's going to be a long-term, right? If Kyler gets hurt and is out for the season, we saw what we saw. Carson might get you 2 games. Trusting him 3, 4, 5 games, he starts to become more and more of a liability. So I don't think trading him is a good idea at all. Pods, I'll let you kind of chime in there first, and then we'll get Dell's thoughts.
Oh, trading him doesn't really. I mean, like I said, he'd have to have a season. Like, say Kyler gets hurt, right? And he has a Mac Jones-like season. Then his trade value would go up, but then you're also left with, well, why don't we just keep the guy? We have him under contract for Dell. What year are we going into now with JJ? 4?
Yes.
4th year, so you have that option still to pick up his 5th year option.
This is
Third
year.
third year.
Well, he was out for you, right?
His rookie year.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was hurt, played last year, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got this year, you can pick up his 5th year option, and that's if he plays out of his mind, great. If he plays, say, like a Josh Dobbs, maybe you can flip him to a team who really needs a backup. You can flip him for some picks. But then at that point, if he's playing good, why flip him when you got a competent backup quarterback there if you trust him more than Brosmer or Wentz? Like you said, Wentz can only get you so many games before the shoulder fails or, just the defense figures him out. It's very difficult. I don't think trading him would be viable. You've got yourself in such a mess here with the quarterback room. Like, you have to hope that Murray plays well. Otherwise, you're going to have to face some decisions that you probably didn't want to face this coming off season and honestly before the trade deadline. So there's a lot of difficult decisions that have to be made, and there's only about 8 to 16 weeks to figure out who's going to have to get cut, what's going to have to get moved around, and who is going to be the long-term solution, whether that's the draft, free agency, you name it.
Dell, jump in there.
Yeah, I think his role this year is going to be that of a ghost. I think along the lines of the story that's being told of McCarthy being the problem last year. If Kyler Murray, if something does happen to Kyler Murray, first of all, it's going to happen on an injury such as it did last year.
Right.
And then loses his starting job and then asks for a release after that. Not a good look. But making the call on starting a player over a former captain, right? There's in the label that McCarthy was the problem. There's no way that you put him in after Murray Because the only reason why Murray would not be playing is due to performance
Injury.
or injury, and kind of the two kind of run together with Murray for some reason last year. So
So do you see Wentz as QB2 then?
yes. And at that point, why wouldn't you just do JJ McCarthy as solid and release him to keep the locker room, you know?
Well, but
So that's
I
kind of
mean,
like
I
I
saw
don't think that there's a
firsthand.
snowball chance in hell.
So Dell, I
need a
was
third
at the
snowball.
Unreal. I was at the Unreal charity softball game, which was for Adam Thielen's foundation in St. Paul, and I saw these players with JJ McCarthy out on the field, and Kyler Murray was announced the day before as being on the roster, and then was not there with the other players. Now it's a charity game; he's not required to be there. It wasn't a Vikings official thing. This was for Thielen's foundation, right? Thielen and Murray were never
Justin
teammates.
Jefferson was there. Kyler Murray's
JJ
ass should have been
McCarthy
there.
was there. Justin Jefferson was there. There was a lot of guys there, a lot of pillars of this team, right? A lot of your offensive line was there. Brian O'Neill was there, obviously. Big B was there up in the booth,
Yeah, I
calling the
wasn't,
game,
unfortunately.
like Bob Uecker. So there was you saw how the team reacted to JJ, and I don't know if this fractures the locker room necessarily. It definitely puts people on notice for reasons that you have stated, both in the maybe we have a bias towards players regardless of their performance, and also we may be spending a lot more money next year on the QB position, which means we're going to be taking money from somewhere else. It will be very interesting to see how this plays out. And I don't think that you see anything or hear anything publicly unless the team is not doing well. If this team is like 2-6 after the bye, you are going to start to see things imploding. And I'm not here to say that that's what's going to happen, but
That could be the best thing to happen.
Well, you may have a shot then to just say, fuck it, let's put Brosmer in, and we're going for a number one pick. And we're trying to get as close to the top of that draft as we can, which means KOC is gone, right? Like, if that's how this season turns out, KOC is putting all of his
what I'm talking about
with Kyler Murray right now, and that's his decision ultimately to make, right? And whatever happens with JJ, whether it's on another team or not, I don't think it's smart. I think you have a viable quarterback in there somewhere. And at least what KOC says publicly says that he believes that. That's why he's QB2 and he's made huge strides this year. Or is
Kyler.
KOC just full of shit? Right?
Yeah, I tend to lean towards KOC's full of shit.
The latter one, yeah.
Tend.
I'm sorry. He's
man.
given me no reason to believe.
I mean, look at what he said about Dobbs. Dobbs can't play within structure, so we got to get him out of here. But then you bring in a player who thrives in playing out of structure. It's like, yo, would you pick one side of the road and just stay in that fucking lane and move forward, man? You know? I just
tracking. Are you a Cardinals fan who watched him as that? And I'm ultimately this team's relying on their defense either way, which they did back in 2024. And everybody like, oh, Sam Darnold played out of his mind. He was the best player in the league. He should have been MVP. And it's like, do you realize that the defense turned the ball over 36 times that year, right? Like they turned the ball over 30.
But he's a competent quarterback, though.
Your offense got. You're going to win a lot of games when you turn the ball over 2 times per game.
Get him, Dell.
Do you know what they used to call Kyler Murray in Arizona, man? Do you know what his nickname was by the fans?
What was it?
Toddler car? I don't know. A toddler? Can't see over the line?
The Bull Rider. Do you know why they chose the Bull Rider?
Because he can't handle the pressure in the pocket?
For 8 seconds. No, he would literally hold on to the ball for 8 seconds in the pocket. But yet, here we are talking about how oh, he's in rhythm and he's throwing the ball on time. And bro, and not only that, let's keep in mind that this is a player that had stipulations in his contract about not playing video games over studying a playbook. What do you think is going to happen when you just hand this guy the keys to the car? Do you think that's going to make him be better, a better student? Fuck no, it's not, bro. He's like, fuck this shit. I'm Kyler motherfucking Murray.
Well, one
and then
thing
he's gonna come out, start throwing balls, throwing YOLO balls. Dude, it's not good, bro. It's not good, bro. It's not.
I agree with you, Bill, 100%. You know, one of the reasons why he had to probably hold the ball for 8 seconds is because he can't see over the line. So he's got to wait for the routes to develop and then go for like a second round. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just,
I don't know.
It is what it is. We're gonna have to see how
it was probably from not studying the playbook, like is documented in his contract.
Yeah,
I'm just going.
I just don't think that he loves ball.
1, 2, 3.
Baseball was.
I don't find him as someone that like loves ball to his core, right?
Baseball, bro. Baseball was his first love, bro.
Facts.
He's documented saying this shit, bro. Yo, what are we doing over here, man? Fucking KOC is desperate to fucking place JJ McCarthy as the problem because dude, when you're a snake bitch motherfucker, you have to push people down in order to make yourself seem taller.
Preach.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Preach.
I'm sorry.
Let's go.
No, you're good. Del, that's great.
This is why I loved you on Rap's channel. Shout out to the vocal Vike. This is why I snaked you away from that channel because this is the fire that we need. This is what I want. I want people to be real. And KOC is digging himself a hole, man. He looks like a fool right now. You were better off naming Kyler Murray
the shovel for an industrial caterpillar, all right?
Right, exactly. He got a backhoe digging. You were better off naming KOC the starter or naming Murray.
He wishes he was the starter.
Well, I've said that a lot, right? Then going to where you have now, where Kyler has ceased to impress anyone on the field, and by many rights,
this right here, hold on. This right here,
a third of the reps that Kyler is getting, that JJ McCarthy is out playing him, playing with the twos, and only 10 reps per practice with the ones. So it is pretty crazy to me that you pull the plug on this competition, which means it never was. And you are.
It was a farce.
Tied.
It was a fucking farce.
You are tied. And okay, so and the way I equated it here was that it was not a competition against two men. It was not one man against the man. It was a competition. Could JJ McCarthy go out there and show that he was Peyton Manning a la his 5th season in the league, right? Like going out and being that guy. That was the competition. And KOC knew that he was not going to be that guy because who could be? Peyton Manning wasn't that guy after 1 or 2 seasons in the league, right? So how do you expect this guy with 10 starts under his belt and limited reps and limited first team reps in practice, OTAs, and now in training camp to prove that to you? And you kept him from that. And exactly,
fun
Johnny,
fact,
you got
Peyton Manning threw the most interceptions in the league.
He's made his bed
year.
now, and he has to lie in it. And he has a GM who owes him nothing in Nolan Teasley. And I'm going to be very keen because Brian Flores, I think, has a lot of respect in this locker room on both sides.
That's who has the locker room.
Yeah.
You have Frank Smith, who has experience calling plays with both. I would be interested to see how Frank Smith feels about a JJ McCarthy, right? How does your assistant head coach feel about your young quarterback? And is he going to get a lot of work with him on the back end of this? Because ultimately what I would do, I'm okay with starting Kyler, right? Like I don't necessarily like the way this all played out,
right?
But I'm okay with it,
right?
Because it lets you season JJ McCarthy behind the scenes in a little bit lower Put him in the pressure cooker, let him simmer, right? You can put him on the crock pot, right? And let him season getting those reps and teaching him, coaching him without the pressure having to go out and start every Sunday. And then going into next season, you're not going to pay Kyler $45-50 million. You know that, but you have a kid now that you spent all of that time that you wish you would have had in his rookie year when he was hurt. And now he has all these practice reps moving into a year where you give him the 5th-year option. You're paying him freaking pennies still, right? What's the 5th-year option for a number 10 overall pick, right? Maybe 18 million or something for a QB. I don't even know if it's going to be that high. We would have to look it up and find the numbers. That's usually B's job. He's working tonight. So we'll talk about that next week. But you season JJ all this year. You're never going to trade him. You don't have any value in trading him. You would be better off, like Dell said, cutting him and just doing him a solid. I think that would say more to the players around you and to the league that you did that. But I think you go ahead, let this play out. Maybe he gets to start a few games because of injury. And then next year, JJ McCarthy is no doubt, no competition about it. JJ is our guy. We've seen him grow. We believe in him. We saw him, during the season starting games. And that's best case scenario. It's probably a pipe dream. I'm probably on the corner somewhere in Minneapolis with the homeless people, smoking God knows what on the train. Like my wife saw the last time we were there going to the Mall of America.
You guys took the train. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Yo.
Oh, and my wife's a country girl, Del. She was like, what the fuck is going on?
Doing flips on the train and shit on the bars and shit. Getting high.
Here, I got some insight for you. So, how the 5th-year option is calculated, it is calculated based on the performance tiers that dictate the payout. It's not a flat rate. You've got the highest tier, which is the franchise tender, 2 or 3 Pro Bowls in the first 3 years, earns a salary equivalent to the franchise tag for their position. A single Pro Bowl, which would be a transition tender. Exactly 1 Pro Bowl equals a salary to the transition tag. Playtime tier, meeting specific snap count threshold, e.g., example given, 75% or more in 2 of their first 3 seasons, results in an average of the 3rd through the 20th highest salaries at their position. The basic tier, if no criteria are met, the option defaults to the average between the 3rd and 25th highest salaries at the position over the past 5 years.
Well, we know where he's going to land.
Yeah, so he's going to be somewhere. So whatever the salaries for the 3rd to the 25th,
basic tier,
whatever the average is of that. So I would say a 20 million is probably a rough guess for me as far as starting quarterbacks go. That's
you're looking at roughly
a little bit more than you would like to. Would you like to pay?
You're looking at about 16 to 18 million. Yeah,
a fraction of what Kyler Murray is going to command, and still allows you to build a team around him. Look, this team ain't a Super Bowl contender built as it is.
Yo, how do you pick up the 5th-year option on him if going in? You have to declare that before year 4. Year 4 is next year.
That's what I'm saying. It would have to be all behind the scenes, and it would be. I don't think his
5th-year option's getting picked up. I think he's probably going to.
Well, because you could probably sign him for 15 on an extension for the next 3 years without having to do that, right? You could sign him for less than what that 5th-year option would be because of the performance not being there. But you risk the possibility that maybe a Jim Harbaugh in LA is tired of what's going on with his team and signs him. I don't know very many other options for a JJ.
I don't think Jim Harbaugh is going to sign him unless it's a backup position, though.
Yeah. What if he goes back to Detroit? What if he goes back to Detroit and spanks our ass twice a fucking year?
Worst case scenario. Let's play the other side of the coin. He goes to a rival, supplants Jared Goff as the starter in Detroit, and spends the next decade kicking our.
That would happen to us.
And you know what? We did it to ourselves.
Exactly.
Well, you let your coach do it to you, because I think a lot of this fan base is right now going, how are we not just starting the kid?
Well, I don't see how you have a guy who you picked up with the 10th overall pick in the first round, and he's only played 10 games. Yes, he got injured the first one, but you are going into a contract year for him where you really need to see what this guy's got to see if you want to pick up that 5th-year option.
Christian
And you're not
Ponder
even
got
going to give him
36
the.
So
starts.
bad.
He's
Yo.
gotten 10 fucking starts, and he's got what? 16, 17 starts before his contract is up in terms of, hey, either the contract's finished or we're declaring your 5th-year option. And you do not, and I'm sorry, and I'm not like I said, I'm not a Vikings fan, I'm a football fan. But, like, you have not shown enough to warrant the team logically picking up your 5th-year option yet. There isn't enough data to suggest that that's even a good course of action.
I really want to see the players get around Kyler Murray. I mean,
You
let's
think they
hold these
would already?
motherfuckers. Let's hold these motherfuckers' feet to the fire. You know, you made your bed, now lay in it. And I mean
What
that,
Justin
from the
Jefferson
toes.
says about Kyler Murray it'll say a lot.
It's really surprising that we haven't seen more quotes on Twitter and social media, and a lot of this, a lot of these, players, they all got it. Why aren't they, right? Why aren't we seeing it? Yeah, you can stand at the podium and say the right things, but why isn't the praise coming out there? Hey, congratulations to my guy, Kyler Murray, who's been in the locker room for a cup of coffee.
Right?
It's very,
Like
very
when-
interesting and telling, I think, that you haven't.
Like when Flores went through that drama with Tua Tagovailoa down in Miami. You had Harrison's what the fuck was his first name? The D tackle and Metellus come up to the podium with him and flank him side by side while he addressed what Tua was saying. You know, where is that solidarity at for this team?
And look at how that ended up, though.
I don't know, man. Well,
Hot garbage sitting in Atlanta.
Here.
That's what I'm saying, though, about the player. I'm saying, like, Flores is thriving and Tua is quite literally drowning in Atlanta.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Players should come together. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. Does anybody?
He's not a leader.
No QB.
He's not a leader, though.
Fuck, bro.
And JJ's not mature enough to be a leader yet, and Kyler has no interest in leading.
You know what? I think JJ can grow into the role.
Maybe JJ
McCarthy is more leader than people give him credit for. But let's
But you got
this up. It is 90 degrees in my studio. I'm roasting in here.
You got to give him a chance to be a leader, though.
It's like I'm at practice, Dell. I got my shirt like rolled up to the titties. I just like, you can't see it. I'm off camera, but I am sweating it out here like I've been doing 2 a days. Now that the QB competition is over,
bring it out.
Hey, that's for the OnlyFans, dog. I had to try to make a living.
Hey, yo!
Join us on Patreon. Now that the QB competition is over, what is the most interesting storyline of training camp for you? And let's go ahead and start with our guest of honor here tonight. Dell, you've been to a couple practices now already. You've been seeing these players. Now that we can, just let the QB thing be what it's going to be. I'm not going to be hyper overreactive to what Kyler does. Like, let him just go and practice, right? Let him go. Can he get better? What's he look like when I'm there in Minnesota on September 13th? If that dude sucks out the gate, I'm going to be up in the stands fucking booing. I'm going to tell you that shit right now.
Me too.
Ass. So now that the QB competition is over, what is the most interesting storyline of training camp for you, Dell?
Where is our defensive lineup set at? In particular, is Banks going to start? He didn't dress Sunday night. Where does Jamal Adams fit in the starting lineup? How is Golday working in? And what do they do with Taron Ingram Dawkins? How is this all going to shake out on the defensive side? That's really what I'm interested in.
Coach?
Yeah, I mean, he basically nailed it all. Defense. Now that we know what the offense is going to be doing, who the starter is, and now my focus is the defense, because we're going to need another year like that Sam Darnold one, getting those turnovers, 30 plus, and we're in the playoffs. 35, 36, and 40. We're making it to a Super Bowl, but it's not going to be because of Kyler.
Pods, how about you? From afar, not a Vikings fan.
Honestly, for me, they kind of touched on it with the defense a little bit, but I'm more interested to see how the secondary is going to do, especially since there's still no word on Harrison Smith. So that's interesting to me. I obviously want to see how Jamal Adams is going to do because he's been primarily playing linebacker lately. So it still leaves the door open for Harrison Smith to come in. You kind of have different packages. I'm just curious to see what Flores is going to do with those packages, whether it's going to be a lot of nickel, a lot of dime, how many blitzes he's going to run with this. Because you've got guys on this team who may not have the experience yet because it's really young, but these guys have motor. And that's the most important part of being on the defense is you got to have that will to just get up, get down and dirty, and just want to hit somebody in the mouth. So yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I don't think any one of you are wrong. CD, not Christian Darrisaw, but Charles Demings, Chuck D, as he's been lovingly called, I think. Making a lot of noise on that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think most interesting thing for me now is the other part of the offense. What's the running game going to be like? Because it was pretty much non-existent for most of last season, and I think it cost you the playoffs. If I'm being honest, I know we all want to blame JJ. If your coach could have learned how to run the ball in weeks 1 through 8, you probably win one more game. So I'm really interested to see if we can get Damon Claiborne moving. I think he broke a long one at the night practice. It sounded like, he's kind of skinnying up through these holes. Can he learn how to catch the ball? Can he hold on to the ball in the reps that he's going to get? I think you kind of know what you have with Jordan Mason. Aaron Jones, much of the same, although he's a little long in the tooth now. I think he can do it. Little worried about our pass pro pickups in the backfield because Jordan Mason not known for it. Damon Claiborne not known for it. Aaron Jones, 30, 31 years old. Does he still have the anchor to be able to take on some of these? Sounds like they were having a lot of trouble with Dallas Turner, which like highlight of the night practice. Sounds like Dallas Turner was just destroying a backup left tackle. Now he's not doing that against an all-pro caliber player, which I think Christian Darrisaw is, but not everybody has a Christian Darrisaw on their team anchoring that left tackle position. So Del, you kind of you alluded to that a little bit when you were on with us last time, that Dallas Turner is going to be a standout performer on this defensive line. So I'm excited about that, but really just, can this running game generate, let's say, 17 games? Can we rush for 2,500 yards this year? If this game, if this team is relying on the run,
that's a little much.
That's not even 150 a game, right? That's not even 100.
Bro, I think if you manage between the backs, because you don't know what you're getting out of your line yet, I think if you manage 1,700 yards, that's a good season.
What did I say last time I was on?
Any one guy even gets 1,000 yards. I think you get 800 yards, and then add this to this. Your QB1 now is known for running the football, right? He's had as many as he's had over 100-yard rushing games, right? So add that into what this makes too. Okay, Kyler's going to run with the ball. It doesn't matter, right? So I think if as a team they rush for, let's say, okay, let me caveat a little, 2,200 yards, okay? If this team turns the ball over 30 times and rushes for 2,200 yards, it's almost a lock that they have finished at the top of our division, right? They have won 11 or 12 games in that. That's just judging by those two stats alone. I think time of possession would skew your direction if you were doing that. And this is irregardless of the quarterback play, although I think Kyler adds a little bit to that. I don't know. I think as I said it, KOC off in Minnesota heard it, and he threw up a little bit when he heard, over 2,000 rushing yards in a season. But I think they have to commit to the running game. They have to play smash mouth football, which is what this team was known for in its entire history. fucking strong defense and smash mouth football? And can you pop some vertical routes down the field? Can KOC change his stripes ever so slightly to become a winning coach again? And if he does
better.
that,
He's got
I
that
think,
desperation.
I don't know that he feels it. I don't know that he feels it. It
If he doesn't, he's an arrogant fool.
I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
did I say last time I was on? 2,300 is the magic number. If we hit 2,300, we'll win the division, and 12 wins is a possibility. Yo, let me give some shout outs here before I bounce out of here. In the zone dash capital N Sports with the Z. Check them guys out. We the Wu-Tang of the podcast industry, as well as Vocal Vike. Go check him out. And if you're interested to see how we're doing, I believe somebody dropped the dime on a stream to the scrimmage last Sunday. So go on over and check that out, man. The whole WAP is there, man, if you really want to see what's going on. I love you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, appreciate you,
I'll
Del.
see you
I'm
soon.
dipping out of here too, man. My eyeballs are sweating. We covered it all anyway, man. The Vikings got a QB1. Training camp is just heating up now, and hopefully we see a lot better performance out of everybody. For Del, Coach Cody, my guy Pods, I'm Bubba Starts. This has been the Tailgate Show on the Scene Project Sports Network. Y'all will see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Keep your eye out. Thursday, 10 a.m., we're going to be dropping the preview. Me and Rap got on, did a preview show of the first preseason game, Vikings at Giants. So check that out Thursday, and make sure you tap in with our guy at Vocal Vike. We'll see you.
Go Vikes.
In Minnesota, your home faces it all. Brutal winters, pounding hail, and summer storms that don't hold back. That's why homeowners trust Odyssey Exteriors, your local, family-owned exterior experts based right here in Burnsville. From roofing and siding to gutters, windows, and decks, we use Midwest tough materials and certified crews to protect what matters most. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and a reputation for integrity, we treat your home like it's our own. Call 952-923-0062 or visit OdysseyEXT.com today to schedule your free exterior inspection. Odyssey Exteriors, built Midwest tough, built for you.